Hi, and welcome to Utilizing Lightning Actions to Enhance Your Page Layouts. My name is Adrienne Cutcliffe. I am a Salesforce consultant for a consulting partner in Brisbane called Salesforce. I'm also a Salesforce Lightning champion, a Ladies Be Architects ambassador for Australia and New Zealand. I'm 7 times certified, and I have 336 Trailhead badges. So today I'm here to talk to you about how Lightning Actions can improve your experience, starting with what your users can't see. So I've worked in a number of different orgs over the years. A lot of those have been pretty messy, but lucky for your users, they can't see those, including orgs that have over 300 custom profiles, over 100 record types per object, and over 700 custom fields. But like I've mentioned before, and I'll say it again, users can't see those, so don't stress. What I'm here to talk to you today about is what your users can see, and that's your page layouts. So I want you to take a look at this page layout. You can see on here we've got lots of lookups. We've got some formula fields that are dragging from other objects. We've got a really big image that's taking up a lot of space, and my personal favorite, we have a lot of multi-select pick list fields. All in all, not as long as I've ever seen before, but long enough that maybe your users might get a little bit sick of dragging to the end of the page. That's where Lightning Actions come in. So you may have seen Lightning Actions used before for things like buttons, global actions, and coded solutions that might pop up a Lightning component, some extra flow screens, anything like that. But did you know that Lightning Actions can be used anywhere else? And that's where Dogters comes in. So today we're going to run through a quick demo of the Dogters org. So Dogters is a nonprofit who sends in dogs to hospitals to increase patient happiness, well-being, and all in all, bringing puppies into hospitals. So today we're going to take the role of Dogters Chief of Administrator, Dora, to see how Dora uses Lightning Actions to enhance her page layouts. So to do this, we're going to come back into the Dogters contact page. Now this is the same contact page that we've seen before. So as we scroll down, we can see important information about our dogs. We can see staff photos, and then scrolling all the way down through their information to their vet details, and last but not least, their availability. Now, as the Chief Administrator, Dora's not so concerned about all the information on this page layout. She's concerned about staffing. Canine Resources can take care of the rest. So we're going to focus on those bits that's going to make Dora and the staffing team's job a little bit easier. First things first is this staff photo here. Now, you'll notice that it's quite big. It's taking up a lot of room, but we still do want to see what these pets look like when they're roaming around the hospital. We'll know which one's which. Another thing that we're going to look at as we scroll all the way down here is the working days and availability section. So you can see here, it's not actually optimal for users to be using it. Working days is a multi-select pick list field, so they can select whatever days they want. And then these hours here don't necessarily correspond to a certain day. They can be a little bit confusing, and your users might just find it hard to deal with. So those are the two things we're going to focus on today. And we're going to show you how you can use Lightning Actions to fix those two. So the first thing Dora is going to do, she's going to go to her object page for contacts. Once inside Object Manager, you'll notice down the left-hand side here, you've got your buttons, links, and actions section. Dora goes into that, and you can see all the actions she has available. So we're going to start by creating a brand new action here. This action is going to be used to replace that staff profile photo component that we discussed. So to do that, we're going to select our action type of updating a record. This is going to make a little bit more sense later on. We're going to give it a label. So we're going to call it staff photo. We're going to click save. Then we're going to get taken to this page that's going to let us assign a layout. So you'll notice that it's got some fairly standard contact fields as a default. Each object's the same. We don't actually need any of those for this part of the demo. So we're going to go through and we're going to get rid of them, including the red asterisk fields. And all we're going to do now is go in, add our staff photo field, and click Save. At this point, you might see that you're going to get an error message to say that fields aren't on the page layout and you need to have a value in them to save successfully. Now, because we're going to be adding these lightning actions to an existing layout page, those fields are already going to be there, so we can just go straight through and dismiss this error and save. That was easy, right? We're also going to replace that availability section on the page layout. Now, I've created this action already just to save a little bit of time. However, you'll notice that a lot of the settings are the same as the settings that we chose before. We've named it availability and we've selected as an update action record. Now, if I were to go in here and click edit layout, this is that place where I could see all those fields that I could add to the page layout. Again, I've deleted all of those standard fields that came into play and I've added my own in. So you can see here, we've replaced that nasty multi-select pick list field with individual checkboxes for days of the week. And we've also added in a free text field for each of those days so that we can distinguish that they're working 9 till 5 on Monday now and not having to guess which days out of the two. So if we go ahead and save this, again, you might get the same error message. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to dismiss that. Now that we've created our lightning actions, I'm going to show you how you can use those on your page layouts to benefit your users. To do that, we're going to go back to our contact record. We're then going to go into our setup cog again, except this time, instead of editing the object, we're going to edit the page. Now, this page might look familiar to you administrators. Some of you may have seen some of these items before, some of you may not. So now that we're in edit mode, we're going to scroll over and I'm going to show you how to add those lightning actions to your pages. So we're going to go to the left-hand side here and we're going to scroll down to the component called related record. And then going to drag that onto our page layout wherever we feel like adding it. You can see that it defaults to any one of the lightning actions that you have, but that's fine. We're going to change that. So we're going to update our header, again, staff photo, so it's nice and easy. We're going to make sure that we're using the contact that we're on so that it's only referencing their staff photo. And we're going to change our update action to that staff photo that we chose before. So we can see a little preview here. Now Max's photo started to move to the right-hand side. Now, as for that nasty availability section, we're going to go in and we're going to create a brand new tab for that. Like I mentioned before, Dora doesn't necessarily deal in the detail section. Neither do any of our staffing agents. So to make this easier for them, we're going to create them a custom tab called availability. What this means is that our staffing agents can come in, they can still see the information, but they know that every time they edit, they're only editing their section, therefore decreasing the risk that they might accidentally change a field on the details section. So again, we're going to drag in our related record component. And instead, this time we're going to choose the availability component. And we're going to click Save. Now, before I go in and I show you our new changes, we're going to get rid of those old fields off of the page layout that we may not need anymore. So we're going to go into our page layouts and into our first staff page layout. And we're going to remove. So we're going to get rid of that staff photo. And we're going to get rid of that whole availability section because we don't need any of that anymore. We're going to click Save. So going back to our Lightning Page tab, now that we've made sure that we've saved it correctly and we're all happy with it, we may need to activate it if we haven't activated it in the past. This one has been, so we're all good to go. We can now click the back button to reload us back to Max Goodwin's contact record. So we can see now immediately on the right-hand side is Max's staff photo. It's gotten rid of it from the section here. And our information is now a lot clearer, and we don't have all of that white space. If we continue to scroll down here, we'll also again notice the absence of the availability section. But if we scroll back up, we've got our new availability tab here. Same thing with your standard contact fields now. You can still go in and inline edit it as you usually would. So say Max is now working on Sundays as well. We can take that 5 to 10 and we can add that in and save. Again, those sections are updated. Another thing that we can do with our Lightning layouts is that any of these sections that we've added can be conditional at any given time on our record. So to show you how you can make information only show up at a certain time, we're going to go back into that Lightning page. And we're going to select that star photo component that we've added before. Now, whilst Max has an adorable face and we are really friendly of that frog, we don't actually need to see Max's star photo if Max is no longer working for the organization. That's just going to take up a little bit more room and we won't need to identify him in the hospital anymore. So we're going to set what's called a component visibility filter. To do that, so we're going to select that component, scroll down on the right and click Add Filter. These can be filtered down to any field that you would like available on the record. In this instance, we're going to select status. And we're going to say that we only want this field to show up when a pup status is active. Once we've done that, we'll click Save again and return back to our contact page. Now, because Max is active, that field's still available. We can see his staff photo. However, the moment Max leaves the practice, maybe he's gone on a little bit of a 6-month sabbatical, we're going to change him to inactive and mark that as the current status. And you'll notice that our Lightning component has now disappeared from the page layout. Great. So what are you waiting for? Just a couple things that you need to keep in mind. So any field on your record can be a Lightning action. That includes your formula fields, your pick list fields, standard text, rich text, anything you want. Lightning actions support all field types, and you can create your action as an update action. If you want to do creating a new record, that's where you do that. Your update actions are really only for records that you're on, where you want to update fields that you've removed from your page layout. Remember, you don't need your mandatory fields. You can create your own. Those mandatory fields only come into play when you're editing those Lightning actions. When you're adding them to your Lightning pages, remember to add them as the related record component, and then to select your update action from there. Show and hide your visibility when you choose. This can be extremely important. Say you're inside an opportunity and you only need to show fields when you're in negotiations. Create a Lightning component with all those important in negotiation fields. Once you've negotiated, you're good to go. You can hide that component from the page layout. So your users don't need to see any of that information, but it's still reportable. Jump onto Trailhead and find some of those extra Trailhead modules. There's a lot out there on Lightning actions, and you can always find out more. And don't forget to tell your admin friends. Thanks for jumping online and coming into my session. If you have any questions, feel free to find me on Twitter or LinkedIn, and have a great day.